Any worker, no matter how brilliant, will sometimes make mistakes. Only those who sit idle never err. Yet working and making mistakes is still better than folding your arms in fear of failure. Ho Chi Minh. In the endless wheel of life, no one walks the path of effort without leaving behind a few stumbling footprints. Even the wise lose their rhythm at times. Even the gifted sometimes miss a step, because mistakes do not choose their victims. They are simply part of growing and creating. What truly terrifies is not the mistake itself, but the obsession that keeps us from daring to try, to act, to step forward. Only those who sit motionless, who never move, who never touch reality, remain untouched by error. They live like boats forever moored at the shore safe, yet slowly rotting, never tasting the salt of the open sea or the strength of a mighty wind. No mistakes, but no achievements either, for they have never left the harbor to create anything of true worth. On the contrary, those who dare to act, to experiment, to take responsibility for every choice, even when they fall, are the ones truly alive. Their mistakes are rough bricks, seemingly ugly, yet they form the solid foundation of maturity. Each fall sharpens their awareness. Each failure makes them stronger, and each correction teaches them how to go farther. Better to work and err than to sit frozen in fear and waste an entire life, for life always favors those bold enough to move. A mistake may slow you for a beat, but it will never stop you. Only fear can do that. To mature is to understand. No mistakes, no progress, no daring, nothing is ever born. And the one who keeps walking after a stumble is the one walking the right path. Great mistakes usually spring from small ones. Victor Hugo, a tiny pebble, seemingly harmless, can shift the course of a river. Left unnoticed, it helps breed devastating floods. The saying reminds us of the hidden power in things we think trivial. Small mistakes, if ignored, pile up and become catastrophes. Plans collapse, relationships fracture, opportunities slip away. They are seeds that, if not tended early, grow into storms we can no longer control. On the other hand, spotting and fixing small errors in time builds the firm ground for lasting growth and success. Caution, respect for detail, and a sense of responsibility. Maturity is not only facing big mistakes, but recognizing the weight of small steps and seemingly ordinary choices that shape the future. Every small mistake is a quiet warning, a chance to learn. If acknowledged, it becomes strength against greater failures. Life is a chain of small choices, and from those tiny bricks, the foundation of success or failure is laid. Cherish every step, every detail, for a small mistake today can cast a long shadow tomorrow. There are no limits. There may be peaks, but they are not meant to be thrones. They are meant to be surpassed. Each summit is a moment to look back at the road traveled, at the effort, the falls, the lessons learned. Yet, standing still at the top brings no growth, only by daring to climb higher, to dream bigger, to face new challenges, do we truly evolve. A peak is a new beginning, never an ending. Never let yourself be imprisoned by today's summit, for life has no fixed ceilings. When you rise, you not only expand yourself, but also cast a brighter light for those around you. Limits live only in the mind. Action, will, and effort are the keys to new horizons. The peak is not a place to reign. It is the launching point for even grander journeys where desire keeps burning. If you are not making mistakes, you are not trying hard enough. Vince Lombardi. Mistakes are not scars that ruin the journey. They are sturdy rungs that help us climb higher. They are the rough stones at the riverbed. Jagged, yes, but they give the water its song and its life. Those afraid of mistakes stand forever on the bank, terrified of wet feet, never knowing how refreshing the current truly is. Every stumble polishes us. Every error deepens our understanding of life's machinery. Some see mistakes as cracks. The wise see them as slivers of light slipping through a door small, yet enough to illuminate a hidden part of the soul. Only those brave enough to enter the unknown, to risk and dare, ever meet the better version of themselves. If your journey feels too smooth, if everything always goes perfectly, ask yourself, have I really been trying? Or am I just strolling inside my comfort zone and calling it effort? Success is not getting it right the first time. It is rising more beautifully after every fall. Treat mistakes as companions, not to drag you down, but to remind you that you are moving, trying, living fiercely, and along that road, today's scratches become tomorrow's radiant crown. Love truth, but pardon error. Voltaire. Truth is like sunlight blazing, honest, hiding nothing. To love truth is to love clarity, sincerity, the bedrock of trust between souls. A heart that cherishes truth is a field bathed in sun, fertile, pure, alive. Yet, life is never made only of righteousness. Errors drift like clouds, sometimes veiling the light, sometimes softening it, and always reminding us that none of us is perfect. Forgiving error is not excusing wrong. It is the generosity of a heart that knows every soul has stumbled. One who loves truth, yet still forgives, bends like water, knowing when to be firm, when to be gentle, when to speak, and when to let the heart speak instead. Such a person understands. Truth helps us grow. Forgiveness brings us peace. After all, the longest road is not the one beneath our feet, but the one we walk inside one another. On that road, only truth builds trust, and only forgiveness keeps people from walking away. To err and fall is human. To laugh at oneself afterward is maturity. William Arthur Ward. The real beauty lies not in the mistake, but in how we face it. The moment you can laugh at yourself, not forced, not self-mocking, but with genuine understanding, that is when your heart has grown another rung higher. It is the smile of someone who knows they are imperfect, yet still striving every day. The smile that hears life not as a perfect melody, but as a harmony of highs, lows, and the occasional off-key note. When you can laugh at your own stumbles, you have mastered emotion, transcended ego, freed yourself from the tyranny of perfection. That smile is sunlight filtering through leaves, gentle, warm, strong enough to chase away the clouds of doubt. It turns mistakes into lessons, shame into fuel, and you into a calmer, stronger version. Because growing up is not never erring again. It is daring to err, daring to fix, daring to smile at yourself. Then you are truly growing in the most beautiful way. Those who never make mistakes lack boldness and the spirit of adventure. They are the brakes on the wheel of progress. Vincent Peale. Afraid to try, afraid to fail, afraid to step into the fog, always asks us to explore. People who never err are not wiser, they simply lack the courage to leap. They are brakes, dragging on the wheel of progress, slowing the rush forward, while the world turns and brave hearts carve new roads beyond safe borders. The fearful stand still, clinging to old loops, trying to hold the future back. Meanwhile, those who dare to err carry the wild spirit of birds flying into headwinds. They try, they risk, they fall, they rise. Every scratch is a lesson. Every slip is a step toward maturity. They, the ones who act, despite knowing they might fail, are the engines driving society forward, the wheels hungry to break limits, the flames igniting change. Progress never springs from silent perfection, but from risky experiments, from wrongs that learn to become right. Only by boldly entering the unknown do we discover treasures greater than ourselves. Mistakes can sometimes be necessary for a worthy achievement. Henry Ford. No mountain is conquered without slipping on loose stones, no masterpiece born without trembling hands hitting wrong notes. Sometimes, a mistake is not something to hide or regret. It is the very first brick laid for the triumph we dream of. A wrong note may sound harsh, yet it can lead the composer to a melody uniquely his own. It is a twist that seems meaningless, yet opens a fresher, brighter path. Every mistake carries a secret message, a hidden door to answers smooth sailing could never teach. Great achievements are forged not on flat roads, but from scrapes, restarts, and moments we almost gave up, yet took one more step. Those very mistakes toughen our hearts, sharpen our minds, forge unbreakable spirit. Success becomes precious because it is distilled from the fears we once faced. Not every mistake is evil. Sometimes it is the strictest, most honest teacher. When you can look at mistakes calmly and gratefully, you realize the greatest triumphs are always nourished by what we once thought wrong. Mistakes do not block your path, they clear it. And everything truly worth having usually demands a few falls along the way. The more one talks, the more one is likely to err. Benjamin Franklin. Among countless words, careless, rushed, or overconfident ones often pave the road to regret. Those who listen and pause before speaking see truth more clearly and sidestep unwanted consequences. A talkative person is like an overfilled jug. One small jolt, and everything spills, sometimes soaking those nearby. Every hasty word is a loose brick. Pile too many, and the wall becomes fragile. Chosen words, carefully placed, build trust and lasting bonds. The value of silence. Silence is not defeat. It is the strategy of wisdom. It lets us observe, reflect, and respond wisely, avoiding errors born of haste or arrogance. Those who speak little but deeply rarely err, for their words mirror seasoned thought and real experience. Life is therefore not just the noise we make, but the balance between word and deed. Speak little, but truly. Listen much and learn. That is how we limit mistakes and earn lasting respect. To fall into sin is human. To grieve over it is saintly. To boast of it is devilish. Thomas Fuller. Falling is inevitable. Everyone stumbles. Mistakes reveal our frailty, yet also offer a mirror to know and improve ourselves. Admitting fault is not shame. It is proof of humanity and honesty. To grieve over a mistake is the mark of a saint. This is the moment of awakening, sincere remorse, and the will to change. Those who torment themselves to become better are lifting themselves out of the storm. That pain is not just feeling, it is guiding light, purifying the spirit. To boast of mistakes, however, is demonic. Justifying or glorifying wrong abandons responsibility and humanity, becoming dangerous to self and others. Pride in error corrupts the soul and breaks bonds. We all err, but our response, acknowledgement, repentance, or arrogance reveals the true nature of our heart. Mistakes do not make us bad. Our attitude toward them decides who we are. I am selfish, impatient, and a little insecure. I make mistakes. I lose control. And sometimes I'm hard to handle. But if you can't handle me at my worst, you sure as hell don't deserve me at my best. Marilyn Monroe. Maturity is not hiding flaws, but daring to admit we are unfinished. She does not paint herself softer or sweeter than she is. She shows she is real, with rough edges that can exhaust those around her. Yet within that difficulty lies the longing to be loved wholly, exactly as she is. No lasting love or bond is built only on perfect moments. It is forged in tired days, arguments, lost moments, where patience and grace become the anchor. If someone only wants you when you shine, they don't love you, they love the highlight reel. Thus, the words are both self-affirmation and a declaration of self-respect. If you cannot accept my weakest moments, you are unworthy of my strongest. Because in the end, We don't need worship of our perfection. We need someone patient enough to walk with us through the wreckage, fixing mistakes together, and still seeing beauty in our messiest days. I hope that in the future, you will make mistakes, because making mistakes means you are doing something. Neil Gaiman. Most see mistakes as full stops. Actually, they are just commas in the story of growth. They close no doors. They open new ones for those brave enough to live fully. When someone says, "I hope you make mistakes," it is not a curse. It is a blessing for trembling hearts, longing to move forward. Only those who dare to act, to live, to leave safety, ever get the chance to fall. And only those who have fallen get the chance to rise more beautifully. Mistakes are proof of action. Action is proof of courage. Courage is proof of maturity. So if you err, be proud. You are not living a spotless, risk-free life. The kind many only realize too late was mere existence, not living. Mistakes do not measure your worth. They only measure how far you have dared to go beyond yesterday's you. So keep walking. Keep making mistakes. Keep fixing them. Keep growing. And always remember, a life without mistakes is a life without footprints. The most praiseworthy act is to think for yourself. Be strong. Coco Chanel. It is not following the crowd or pleasing everyone, but deciding for yourself, owning your choices, and walking bravely forward, even when the road is hard. Be strong is not only physical, it is the inner fire that refuses to break, that faces its own mistakes with courage. It is the light for dark days, the energy to rise without regret. Living for yourself is not selfish, it is wise and mature. Only when you are strong enough to think and act for yourself are you truly free and happy. Life is always full of beautiful things, and you are one of them. You are a beautiful thing in this vast world. You carry energy, talent, love, and uniqueness only you possess. When you cherish yourself, you see that joy, opportunity, beauty are not only out there, they live in your heart and your actions. A gentle reminder of confidence and self-worth amid countless challenges. Never forget the good and know that you yourself are part of life's goodness. When you love and trust yourself, the world mirrors that value back, making life fuller. You are not an extra detail. You are a radiant piece in the great painting called life. And once you see that, every step, every effort becomes meaningful. There are no limits for women. We can do anything and become anyone we dream of. Michelle Obama. Women have the right to dream, to challenge themselves, to step out and leave their mark. We can lead, create, conquer knowledge, explore art, or build the impossible. Every effort is living proof of boundless inner power no one can deny. Limits exist not outside us, but in our own belief. When women believe, overcome fear, and act, doors we thought locked swing wide open. Every dream dared is a declaration. You can become anyone you desire. No permission needed, only courage. Women are bound by no stereotype. Every effort proves that talent, intellect, and heart know no borders. Believe it, and the world opens endless ways for you to shine. If thinking about your dream doesn't scare you, it's too small. Richard Branson. If the dream feels easy and cozy, it is not big enough. It hasn't pulled you out of familiar limits or awakened the giant sleeping inside. Big dreams always bring fear of failure, rejection, change. That very fear measures the dream's greatness and fuels potential into motion. Those who dream big don't flee fear, they face it and ride it forward. When you feel fear, you stand at the edge between now and everything you want. Step through the fear, and you step into a larger, stronger you. Dream huge. Let it make you tremble. Only then will you know how vast you truly are. We must choose the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. Jim Rohn. The pain of discipline is tired training hours, restraint, hard but right choices. It is positive pain that brings growth, strength, lasting fruit. It is pain we can steer and turn into momentum. The pain of regret is passive. It is lost chances, unspoken dreams, promises to self-broken. Regret does not push forward. It only tortures with what can never be changed. We cannot escape pain, but we can choose which kind. Choosing discipline means taking the reins and building the life you want, step by stubborn step. Choosing regret means letting time slip and learning too late from a cruel teacher. Life is a choice between two pains. Our choice decides whether we grow or grieve, active pain or passive pain, pain that makes us greater or pain that leaves us smaller.